This is Natalie with Natalie's Hoya Haven, and we are doing part 2 of a 5-part series of plant tours in my home. And right now, this is going to be part 2, and we're going to check out everything that is in my grow tent. So I got some propagations, some expensive smaller plants, a couple mother plants, and I'd love to show you what all I have here. So let's get started. Okay, so I decided the best way we're going to do this today is I am going to pull the plants out, bring them up to the screen, and show you one by one. It's a lot easier than trying to get the camera deep down in there. So we're going to start with the top shelf on the right hand side. Okay, first plant here is my Hoya diptera. This was a smaller plant. It's getting a little bigger now, and it's starting to grow pretty good. So I'm pretty happy with that one. I have a couple propagations here. They're doing okay. One is Hoya incrustata moon shadow, and one is my outer variegated Huschkiliana, which honestly may not make it. This was my first attempt at propagating my outer variegated Huschkiliana, by the way. All right, in the back here, we have my Hoya Sunrise. I'm not thrilled about this Hoya Sunrise. I've seen much better specimens, and they're supposed to like sun stress really well, and I put mine in the grow tent, and honestly, it just kind of looks like poo-poo. So let me know if you got any advice on that. I'm almost wondering if it needs calcium or something like that, because I always get these off-colored leaves. So if you have any tips on the Hoya Sunrise, please let me know. Next plant here is my Rigidifolia Splash. This one has grown quite well. I've had this one almost a year. Got it last April. As you can see, I've got some really good roots happening. This one started with these 2 bottom leaves. Since then, I have had all of this growth. It's still continuing to grow. I've got a nice tendril going on there. That's Rigidifolia Splash. All right. Okay, up front here we have a whole lot of littles. I'll hold up each one. Okay, this one is my Croniana Blackleaf. Been a little slow to grow, but still doing good. Pretty much a dead GPS 7240, which I'm not going to talk about. Let's see. Hoya septangensis. Funny thing with this, I had a much bigger plant, and silly me, I sold the bigger plant by accident when I meant to sell the smaller plant. And then this one, like, all of a sudden it just decided like it's going to grow so slowly. So, but it's still doing good. It's very pretty. It sun stresses very well. Small leaves, but yet they're firm and thick. So my next one over here is my Hoya Serpens. I always wanted one of these, and I got a pretty good deal on it. I think it was $10, so it was kind of something like that. So yeah. Next one is my Hoya VL09. I've had it almost a year. It grows very slow, and that's all I got to say about that one. This is my Hoya Parviflora, not to be confused with Parviflora Splash, which I also have, and they look identical. And I have my Hoya Lyi. I think that's how you pronounce it, Lyi. No ID. That's it for this little tray. These ones I usually try to water about twice a week. Oh, I got this one in the back. I forgot about this one. This is my propagation of my Hoya Wilburgraves. Now, in my video in part 1, by the way, if you haven't seen part 1, go back and subscribe to my channel first, and then go back and watch part 1, where one of my very favorites is my Hoya Wilburgraves. Well, I've propagated it before, so that I decided to propagate this, and it's growing in so beautiful that I'm having a hard time putting it up for sale. I think I'm going to keep it. I'll either keep it and grow it. I think I'll keep it and grow it out as a second plant in case something happens to my first one. But that is my Hoya Wilburgraves propagation. Okay, that's it for this small tray. Okay, continuing on, in the back, I have my Hoya latifolia dinner plate. You can see that. I have somebody who wants to purchase this, and I told them I would root it up first, make sure it was nice and healthy, and this will probably be going up for sale. In the front here, I have my Hoya Thomsonii Splash. Again, looking really good. This will be my mother plant. This is a fairly recent purchase for me. And a lot of people have had problems. They say it's a hard one to grow. I have not had that problem. I have kept it in the grow tent. I water it once a week and leave it in the grow tent, and really that is all it needs. So if you've been afraid to try Hoya Thomsonii Splash or Hoya Thomsonii, I wouldn't worry. I've had good experience with mine, so. Alrighty, in the back here, I have 4 more littles. I have my Hoya Lima Splash. By the way, I got a super heck of a deal on this. If you do look them up online, they are pretty expensive. I paid minimal amount of money. I don't remember. It might have been 10 or 15. These things go for hundreds of dollars. So, yeah. Oh, did I say Lima Splash? I meant Lima Silver. This is my Hoya Lima Silver. All right. Next one is my Nova Ghost. And I know I paid $10 for this one because it says so right on the tag. However, it has done, I've had it almost a year. This is one of the ones I got in April. It's done absolutely nothing at all. So, want a fast grower? I do not recommend Hoya Nova Ghost. Next one I have here is my Hoya intervariegated Hushkiliana. Again, this used to be a much bigger plant. I actually, I'm pretty impressed that I've got this much because I had 2 leaves and that's it. And I grew it out from there. So, but this one actually does like the grow tent, so he's going to stay in there. Hoya Kamingiana, again, another one that used to be a bigger plant. I'm still getting yellow leaves and I don't know why. So, anybody got any tips for Hoya Kamingiana? Please let me know. All right, and the showstopper on my top shelf here on the right side would be my Hoya Wilbur Silver. And these leaves, when you sun stress them, they are straight purple, if you can see that. It roots wonderfully. It grows fast. There is not one thing I can say about this plant that I don't absolutely love. I'm probably going to start making propagations of it soon, but right now I don't have the heart to cut it. Like, I am so happy with how this plant has been doing. So that once again is my Hoya Wilbur Silver. Oh, and a funny thing about this one too, I actually there's 2 plants in here because I bought one. And then the same person I bought it from put more plants up for sale and put another one up for sale. And I bought a second one forgetting that I had one already. But that's okay. The price was right, and it's like a beautiful full-size plant even right now. So I'm happy with it. All right. This one I probably shouldn't have hooked like this because now I have a problem getting it down. But this is my Hoya numeraloides. This one's doing okay. Very, very thick leaves. Very thick. Like there's no taco test or anything going on with these. Like, no. If you bend it, you're going to break it. And in front here, I have a couple propagations. This is a propagation of my Hoya botanica. You will see the mother plant here shortly because she's also in the grow tent. And I have a very sad looking Hoya carnosa crimson princess, which I'm just seeing if I can root it up and save it. Like I said, I don't like to throw away leaves if I think there's a chance I can save it. I do have other crimson princesses, by the way. So this is not my only one. All right. Let's move a couple out of the way and we'll get to this next row here. Second row on the right side, we have Hoya dakii. I have not cut this at all. It's a little sensitive. Kind of one you gotta have to keep a little extra eye out for. And it really doesn't put new leaves out very often. I think I've gotten 2 leaves since I've had it. So next one, this is one of my favorites. This is my Hoya Lori Lynn, which it's basically the Hoya wyetii, but it's outer variegated instead of inner variegated. Well, they call that the Lori Lynn. It's grown a lot since I've had it, actually. So pretty happy with that. Okay. Back in the back here. This was one of my wish list plants for a while. And the first one I had died. It was got shipped in cold weather, and even though I had a heat pack, like all the leaves fell off. So I knew I was going to order it again when I could find a good one, and this is what I found. This is my Hoya latifolia pot of gold. We can also call that the macrophylla pot of gold. This is where the variegation is on the inside. And we do have a new leaf coming out here. Some of these newer leaves are just kind of not having much variegation. So we'll see how that turns out. But we may be chopping and propping and trying to get some of that variegation back. So Hoya macrophylla pot of gold. Or I guess the more newer way to say it would be latifolia pot of gold. Okay, back here. Oh, this one's labeled wrong. This says SR 2007-13, which I think is one that I killed. So this is actually Hoya callistophylla. I'm sure for all you Hoya heads out there, you knew that was a callistophylla. This is my propagation. And while we're at it, I will also show the mother plant since we're right on the same shelf. I mean, I don't really know that I'm even getting rid of the smaller one. I may just pot them back up together. It's one that, it's a little bit harder. And this is also my second one I've had of this one as well. My Hoya callistophylla, the first one I had, was the first expensive plant that I killed. And I think at the time it was like $85, $85 to $90. And of course, we had a lot more money back then, but it broke my heart. Like, I could not forgive myself for killing a $85 plant. But since then, prices have gone down. This one was much, much cheaper. And I've learned to get over it. Plants die. you move on. Alrighty. I will also show you doubles of this. I have my Hoya lacunosa intervariegated. This is the mother. This is the baby. And right now they are both putting out new leaves. This one had a little bit of a problem and I had to reroot it. And I decided at the time I was going to reroot 2 sets so that at least one of them would make it. And it looks like maybe they're both going to make it. This one looks a little bit shabbier. This one's looking pretty good. But they both have new growth coming out. So for that, I am very thankful. My next plant is Hoya biacensis. I don't have much to say on it. I haven't had it a real long time. It's just kind of holding its own, quite honestly. Okay. Next one here is Hoya Ko Chang Island. This one cost me $10, as I can tell on my tag. This one has put out a couple leaves since I've had it, and I'm looking forward to see what else it's going to do. Okay, over here, ooh, and I'm excited about this. This is actually pushing out new growth. Hoya Fusco marginata. This is one I had on my wish list. I bought it locally. The person who sold me my Encrasada Moon Shadow also sold, they gave me this as a free cutting. And she offered, a lot of different plants to give me one free cutting for, as kind of like a bonus for the plant I bought. And this was the only one that I didn't have. So of course, So this is it. And Fusco marginata kind of means that the margins are going to have some color to them. And it has grown out this leaf, and it's now putting out another vine. So, and the roots look good. So this one's doing really well. Okay, over here I have my Hoya Silver Dollar. Not real happy with it. I'm gonna be honest. It started with these 2 bottom leaves that were very, very light green, and then everything it kept putting out kept getting speckled, and then I got a light one again, but I don't think Silver Dollar is supposed to look that way. I think they're supposed to all be light colored, and as a matter of fact, this feels very dry. So hold on one quick second. I'm just going to give it a drink of water. Sorry about that brief pause. Leaves, again, are flimsy. This thing is like living. One day it's going to live, the next day it's going to die. Leaves are now flimsy again, so I felt like I better give it a little quick drink of water. And we are back on it. So that is it for my second shelf. Okay, for the third shelf, I figure I'm going to take a seat so I can pull things out. I have a newly propagated aloe vera plant. It was given to me free. I have outer variegated carrii, and I just got done saying in my other video that these don't do very well, and I think I got a new little sprout coming up on top, new little tendril coming out. So I'm very happy about that. Okay, in this little bin here, I have my Hoya Parviflora Splash. Now this was featured on my video when I went to the Happy Houseplant Company. If you have not seen that video, please go back and watch, and feel free to subscribe, and you'll get all my videos. All right. Next one I got here is my Hoya Clemensorium. Don't mind me for moving all around. I want to make sure you guys are getting a good view of my plants. This is Hoya Clemensorium. It's doing good. Leaves are really thick. Leaves are very sun-stressed. I sun-stressed it a little too much. However, I will probably never ever cut this again. I took 2 propagations from it. They rooted up eventually. It took forever. And then I sold one, the other one I still have, but it has not put out a new leaf, and it's taking forever to put anything out on here either. So just an FYI, Clemensorium is not one I would propagate. I think it's a rather difficult one. Very beautiful though. That's probably really why they ask a lot of money for it, because it's not easy to propagate. My next one here is my Hoya Micrantha 1870. This one I actually kept in a Dixie cup for like up until about a month or so ago. It was a cutting that I had, the only thing I had to propagate it with was a Dixie cup, and because we were out of town at the time, and it grew so much that I didn't want to take it out of the cup. So it was just recently that I took it out, but it's this one you can do anything with, and it's just gonna be happy. Super, super thick leaves on the Hoya Micrantha 1870. So how many of you out there are putting new plants on your plant wish list? Because I know I like to watch these videos, and I have pen and paper, or I got my phone out and I'm typing them in. So hopefully I'm doing the same for you. I'm giving you some ideas of Hoyas. This is my Hoya Ilagorium. I always say these wrong, so then I try to take my time and pronounce it right, but Ilagiorum. This one I thought was doing good, but you know what? The leaves aren't feeling right. Then I gotta probably do a little bit of research and find out what's going on, because these couple of them are curling around and a couple of them feel flimsy. Kind of feel like the Hoya Silver Dollar felt. So this one I'm going to pull out to do some little bit of looking around, see what the problem is. Here's another one of my favorites. Now this one, I'm done with the last row on the right side. Now I'm doing the plants across the bottom. And this is my Hoya Rosita. And a Hoya Rosita, it's a mix between two Hoyas. And I'm trying to think. I think it's like Tangamus or Sangii or something like that, and Wyetii. You know what? I'll put it across the bottom. Let me look it up so I'm not giving you guys wrong information. But it sun stresses so pretty. Like this is one of my top 10 for sure. Might be a top 5 even. Hoya Rosita. And keep her right on the corner here. Okay, next to her, I have my Hoya Floris Island, which was small for a very long time, and now it's decided it's a happy, happy plant. And that's what the leaf looks like on Floris Island. And I got a new leaf starting right here in tendrils. I don't know, I might, at some point, I might chop this up and try to make a bigger plant, but I haven't done it yet. I'm a little nervous to pull the trigger on that one. Okay, next to that is a non-Hoya, and it is a non-Hoya that is not looking too good. I did pull it from the grow tent, and I don't think it liked it. So now I put it back in the grow tent. I've kind of given up on these bottom leaves. I'm kind of going, actually, I see something here going on. Oh, here. Let's see. Right here. So I think I'm making it come back. Forgive me. This is Philodendron Pariso Verde. And it looks like I'm getting it back. This one definitely needs to stay in the grow tent. And that's all I got to say about that one. I learned the hard way. Okay, next to that is another one of my free aloe vera. My neighbor had moved away last year. She gave me her aloe vera plants, and I kind of ignored them for a while, and now I'm like trying hard to grow them out. So I'm going to give a couple away, I think, as gifts. And then this is the one I'm going to keep, and I am so, so proud of all these little pups coming out. I didn't think I knew what I was doing. If you don't know how to grow an aloe vera, basically put them in terracotta and give them as much light as you possibly can and do not overwater them. And you'll get what I got. All these little pups popping out. All right. I think what I'm going to do is just go across all of the bottom plants and then I will do everything on my left side. Okay, in the front here, this is AH014. I don't have a lot to say about it. It kind of looks like an obovata. I don't really have an opinion. It grew these two little leaves out, but then they stopped like short, so I don't know. All right, next to that, let's kind of see if we can switch sides now. That was basically everything on the right side of my grow tent. So now let's take a look at what I got going on the left side. Okay, make sure I got things where they should be. I'm like moving all over the place with this one, but okay. This here is my Hoya quinquenervia. It's really put out some amazingly big leaves. There's a big one right there. So yeah, I think I sun stressed it a little too much. I may end up pulling it out of here. I've never had the quinquenervia outside of the grow tent and away from the humidity, so I'm a little leery of how I'm going to do that. But anyway, that's my mother plant. It's looking a little, it has grown very strangely. Let's just put it that way. I had it wrapped around and then I decided to trellis it. So in the corner here, I have a very, very tall plant. There's the top. There's the rest of it. This is my Hoya imperialis. And I've talked about this one in previous videos. I'm waiting so patiently for this one to bloom because it puts out the biggest, most beautiful red Hoya flower. And that's what I'm waiting on. And it keeps growing and it keeps putting out these little leaves and then they dry up and they fall off. So one just fell just now. So I don't know what I may have to quarantine it. I'm slightly worried about flat mites because that is a symptom of flat mites where you get leaves that come out and then they fall off. So, and if I do have flat mites, this is probably not the best place to have it in, but I'll deal with that on a different day. Okay, down at the bottom here, I have my Hoya, okay, and this is another one of my top faves. My Hoya Wyetii inner variegated. And it puts out the most beautiful red. So this is a little bit more common than the Hoya Lori Lynn that I showed you earlier. The Lori Lynn has the variegation on the outside, and I don't know that this has a name other than inner variegated Wyetii, but this is a lot cheaper than the Lori Lynn, but this I got for a pretty good price. I don't remember what the price actually was, but I know it was a good price. All right. Okay. Down here at the bottom, I have a Hoya. I'm going to say it's Affinity Bertonier. I have not really been able to tell the difference between Affinity Bertonier and Bilobata. If you all know the difference and can help me out with that, go ahead. Other than that, I'd have to wait till the flowers come out. This is my Hoya Colina. I paid 25 bucks for this plant because I seen the mother plant and I know what it's capable of. However, what it's capable of, it does not want to do for me. It really just wants to die. So if I'd have known, I would not have bought this plant. It's not making me very happy. And actually, if it dies, I think I would just be fine with it. Not a happy plant. All right. All right, now this is the last plant on the last row on the left side. And this is my Hoya incrustata. Just so you know, I have multiple incrustata. I've propagated some and I've put them up for sale and people don't want them. And so now I just got a ton of propagations and yeah. So looks like I got a dead leaf going on there, which I can deal with. So the rest of it's super, super healthy. So, and then I got a new leaf coming in right there. Okay, we got 2 rows left. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. We have 3 rows. I'll show you these real quick. These are just 2 more of my aloe vera propagations. All right. All right. Over here, we have my mother plant of my Hoya botanica, and that is Bhutanica, botanica. It has put out this new leaf. It has put out this new leaf. This one is an easy grower, easy propagator. Pretty much a very, very easygoing plant. So, yeah, very nice thick leaves. That's a good one. Very nice one to have. Okay, next to that, I have my Hoya erythrina. And this one's doing pretty good. Actually, it feels a little dry. I'm wondering if I should give it a little drink of water, but leaves are super, super dark. Look what's going on the back side of these leaves. And yeah, looking pretty good. Pretty happy with this one. I'll probably be up potting it soon. Okay. Next to that, I have my, oh, it's the outer variegated incrustata. It's not moonshadow, it's eclipse. My incrustata eclipse, which I'm still trying to save it, if you can believe that. So nothing else I got to say about that one. This is my Hoya Nicholsoniae. Very pretty plant, medium-sized leaves, medium-sized thickness. It's been a little slow, but it's been slow and steady. And last on my 3rd row is, again, this is supposed to be Hoya Bertoniae variegated. Tell me, can you see the variegation? It had variegation when I bought it, and then I put it in the grow tent because I thought you're supposed to give it higher light, you know, because there's less green. And it completely turned green. So I can't tell you any more about that. I might try another one at some point because I don't feel like this one's going to give me any variegation, but we'll see. Okay, back to standing position. Okay, we've got this row and this row left to go. So let's just start pulling out and see what we got. You know what? I'm going to pull 3 of these out at one time because they are all the same plant and they are all Hoya incrustatas. So they're all propagations. I don't have anything to say beyond that. This right here is a propagation of my Hoya botanica. And it's already popping out new growth right here. New growth right here. Like I said, this thing, look at the roots. It roots up super fast, and then it just starts putting stuff out. Can't say enough good things about that one. Okay, here's some. This is my, it's a propagation of my Lacanosa silver, which in my part 1 video, you will have seen it as I'm rerooting it in water. So this I had pulled ahead of that, and it's not doing real great, but maybe it'll live. This is a GPS 7240 that's dying. Well, it's not dying, it's dead. Okay, let's see here. In the back, by the way, this whole shelf I'm doing right now are all propagations of other plants. Got a prop of my Hoya parasitica verticillata. I have a propagation of my Hoya crassipediolata. Another propagation of Hoya parasitica verticillata. Another propagation of Lacanosa silver. Okay, a couple more propagations. Hoya sunrise. This may end up doing better than my mother plant. And a Hoya lemonica. This one I may end up keeping. This is a propagation of my Hoya quinquenervia. However, my other one got so sun-stressed that I'm kind of digging the darker color on this one. So actually, you know what? Since we're talking about it, I'm probably going to put it away out of the grow tent so it doesn't get any darker than what it is. I was originally going to sell it or trade it, but honestly, this one might be a keeper. And we'll put that over here. Okay. That is it for my second shelf. Okay. One more shelf to go right here. Let's get into it. This is my Hoya flavita. It sun stresses beautifully. It grows very crazy. I bought it for the sun stressing. I only paid $10 for it, but it's a little bit annoying. To be honest, I knock a lot of other plants over when I move this around, and I'm sure you know why if you can see what this looks like. So, and I don't know, the leaves aren't that special. They do get a pretty red color, but I like the veining, and this one just really doesn't have a lot of veining, and the leaves curl a lot, so not one of my favorites. Okay, back behind that, I have a, did I not? Oh yeah, it's my cinnamon folia, my Hoya cinnamon folia. It used to be bigger, and then it did this, and you know what? I see a little new growth coming out of there, and that is the first that I knew. And actually, wow, the other side's got a little growth point too. We might be turning the corner with this one. It does feel really light. I better water it while I'm up here. Okay, back behind that, we have Hoya calycina stargazer. And as you can tell by the tag, this is a Groovy Plants Ranch purchase. Like a couple years ago purchase. Hadn't done anything for the longest time, but just before I started doing this video, I took a look, and I've got growth point here, and I have a growth point over here. So that's the first that this plant has done in an awfully long time, and I'm going to attribute it to the grow tent because it had not been in the grow tent prior to that time. All right. Over here, we have Hoya pachyclata. This is my Hoya pachyclata. Flowers come come out here and here. So that's pretty cool. I've got roots for days. Does pretty good. It has sun stressed a lot in the grow tent, but it does seem to like it in the grow tent. So that's where we're going to keep it. Okay, in front of that, this is another one I was very ecstatic to see. This is my Hoya Royal Hawaiian Purple combined with fungi, which are two of my favorites. So it ends up giving you a very thick, curvy leaf. This is also, I do like the darkness of this. I will probably pull it out of the grow tent before it gets too light. But I have growth points all over in here. Like, I got one up here. This thing, I am so excited for what this is about to do. So this is a combination of Royal Hawaiian Purple and fungi. Okay, in front of that, I have Hoya Griffii Splash. This one I had bought with 2 leaves. It has since put out this leaf. I've got a growth point on the other side of that leaf. And then up above that, you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more leaves and another growth point. That's Hoya Griffii Splash. This one was one of my wish list plants, but I don't know how much I like it anymore because it won't grow. This is my Hoya vangviengensis. If you haven't seen this one, look it up. You see a mature plant of this, you'll know why it was on my wish list. But I can't afford a mature plant. I can afford a 2-leaf cutting, which has done nothing. So I tell you what, if this thing grows, I'm going to give it its own video because I'm going to be so happy. Okay. All right. In the back here, I have my AH074. This thing is, this has got tendrils. A tendril. I do think it's getting a little bit sun stressed. I'm not sure if I'm liking the way those leaves look. However, it's got all of this, and I got new leaves coming out. And this one, I might be pulling this out of the grow tent because I don't like the way those light leaves are. I don't like the way it's sun stressing. Some plants sun stress very well. Other ones look horrible. So yeah, as you can tell, like these 2 leaves right here, I don't know if that's the look I'm going for. So this is probably going to come out. All right. And then in the back here, this one will stay in the grow tent because I love the way this one sun stresses. This is my Hoya Morellii. That's, I'm going to say as far as sun stressing goes, this is probably my number 1. This is beautiful. And it sat here for a while, didn't do anything. I think it was working on its roots because it's got some good roots. But another thing I just seen, and I'm wondering if some of this is due to the Kiki paste. So if you go back a couple videos of mine, you'll see where I started putting Kiki paste on some of my plants to encourage new growth. And this is one of them I did. This is one of them that wasn't doing anything. And I put Kiki paste on it, and now it's starting to put out. So that's great. All right, almost at the end. One more tray. This is a tray of propagations. I have Hoya curtisii. Would not recommend propagating. This is Hoya bilobata. I think this is one that fell off and I just potted it up. I got a Hoya parasitica splash. I have, this isn't a propagation. Well, this is actually a plant I want to keep. This is a Dischidia. I think it's string of coins. Yeah, it used to be bigger. That's all I'm going to say on that. This is a Hoya Wayetii propagation. The Wayetii and the curtisii, you will see them other plants in future videos. And then this is a propagation of my Hoya Chelsea. All right. All right, so that is it for my plant tour of my grow tent. So officially the Hoya Haven plant tour part 2. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Go ahead and look at my part 1 if you haven't already. And be on the lookout for 3 more videos coming. So I'm getting them out. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.